Hey everybody, it's Lamont Weed at Lake August Gardens, and today we're preparing the spring vegetable garden.
So that he's gonna grow it to the top.
So the first thing we're going to do before we install the new garden is harvest some of the vegetables that remain from our first fall garden, like carrots and onions. And then Dustin is going to till, because we have a lot of grass and kind of, the early weeds that have started. So we want to till it and turn that under, and we're going to change the direction of the rows. Now, he has been having some issues with getting his tiller in there, so we're coming up with a strategy to change the direction. So I think I'm going to bring in the tractor. We're just making sure we have gotten all of our carrots and different things that we want to harvest out of the garden. All right, we're ready? So now that we've used the tractor to take down the old rows, Dustin can get in there and evenly till so that we can build the new rows. And then Joseph has these here.
Yeah, will you look for green beans?
And lettuce, like lettuce to work. Okra, yeah. Oh, well, there's the okra. So we'll do carrots.
Where's that? Do you have like peas? You thought about growing peas? Peas are good.
Yeah.
What about green beans?
Yes, peas and green beans.
I love green beans.
Do we have broccoli? Is there any broccoli?
I thought the broccoli right.
You guys fall asleep mid-play. Try to stay mobile like this, look, and only move your arms. So don't move your body, just move your arms. As much as you can. It takes practice. But try to keep your body stable in one position, and only your arms should be moving.
Flex the abs?
Yeah, flex the abs.
Because it keeps the water in, but this will work this year. By rotating it, this is what the rotation is.
Outstanding.
Feeling these rows right now, they're just not speaking to me. I mean, they're just kind of straight and just like maybe we could do some in shapes.
A dream garden.
Will you be baptized on my birthday? I was looking at days, and I was like, well, that's about a month out.
Now that we have our garden tilled, we have the rows in place, it's time to get those seeds in the ground. Dustin Howard. He is the founder of Legacy Farms, and he actually helped us today install our vegetable garden. Thank you so much, Dustin. Can you tell us a little bit about the best time to plant a vegetable garden, and what were some of the things you guys did in our gardens today?
So the best time to plant a vegetable garden is in the spring after the last frost. Our last frost date in Zone 8A that we're in now is March 18th, so we're right there on time. And
right.
Vegetable garden that I like doing is the one that we did today with the rows facing north to south, so they get maximum sunlight. Then we like to do it 6 inches below the ground level, 12 inches high on the mounds, and 3 feet apart, so the plants have enough space to grow and thrive.
Right. Tell our viewers, what are some of the mistakes that people make when they're gardening?
So some of the mistakes people make when they're gardening is they plant the seeds too close to each other, and sometimes they plant them too far apart. And what you have to realize is some plants enjoy having their companions planted next to them. Like for instance, tomatoes and basil like to be planted together. And when you plant corn, you have to plant corn in blocks. That way the corn is a self-pollinating plant. If you plant them in rows where they don't have the wind pollination to pollinate these plants, they won't prosper. So we like to plant accordingly to the different types of ways so that we can make sure and encourage that we have a maximum production.
So one of the things I've really enjoyed about working with Dustin in the gardens is he's very knowledgeable on what plants work and what plants don't work. And so in your gardening experience, what is one of your most favorite plants that you get really good success with every time you plant it?
So I enjoy growing okra. So okra is a wonderful plant that grows really well here in Texas, and it produces like crazy. The thing they say about okra is you have to pick it every day, and that's my kind of vegetable, the one that keeps giving.
So it's always producing on the stem, and you can keep when you pick it, it keeps producing.
Yeah, if you're hungry, you're gonna get fed on some okra.
So with the rising cost of things now, like how would you encourage people to start their own vegetable gardens? Like what are 2 or 3 things that they should consider if they want to start a garden, whether they have a backyard or they want to do a pot gardening?
But one of the things they should consider is their size. How big they want it. And I recommend, just based off according to how big your yard is. And getting it prepared, till it up, right nice and neat, make the rows. You always have to have rows in your garden. And that encourages the plants to grow and prosper. And you have to pick some of the staples when it comes to vegetables. Here in this climate that we're in, okra, tomatoes, corn, peppers, squash, zucchini, cucumbers, things like that really do well here.
So the first garden that Dustin helped us install here at Lake August Gardens was back in the fall. We had never planted a garden here. As most of you know who watch us, we've only been here. This will be our second growing season. But we had a phenomenal fall garden that really produced a lot. If someone has never done a garden in the fall, is there anything that they plant in the spring that will carry over to the fall, or should they scrap everything and just start a new planting in the fall? And what time should they do that in the fall?
So yeah, there's a lot of plants that will grow all season long. Tomatoes, okra, a lot of the like peppers, cucumbers, all the herbs that you have, squash, pumpkins, watermelon. There's a lot of plants that keep giving all year round. And the trick is to pruning them on time. Make sure you're pruning them out with the old, in with the new. Make sure you get all the dead out of there. And there's 3 planting seasons here in Texas. There's in the early spring like we are in now. Then there's in the summer around August when it's the heat of the day you want to plant. And then later on in the fall around October-ish. And a lot of things that I like doing is planting with a fall crop. When the fall comes, and you interplant amongst the plants that are going to last, that keep giving, like okra and tomatoes and the basil and the herbs. Then you'll plant your lettuce when it starts cooling off around the summer solstice, around August 20th, around the middle of August. Then you can start doing the brassicas like the broccoli and the cabbage, the turnips and the beets and the onions and the carrots. Such a wonderful season for carrots, wasn't it?
It was, and I think we just got some that were planted in the fall out of the ground today, and I mean they were fresh as when we first picked them back in October and November. So again, we really want to thank Dustin for coming out and helping us with LDS today get our spring garden installed. We know that it will produce abundance for us. We hope that you have enjoyed the content that we provided. Continue to subscribe to our channel, follow along. We will be updating you on the progress of this garden, and we will see you in the next video.